do not use the military post office, as this is not allowed. Hi and welcome. If you're new here, my name is Tori. I'm a 23-year-old stay-at-home mom, military spouse, and small business owner and entrepreneur. In this channel, my goal is to talk about all things business related from my experiences and life journey. For those who don't know me, recently I have been living in Okinawa, Japan for the past 3 years as a military spouse. Today we're going to talk about all of my experiences and the process as far as getting your home base approval to be able to run your small business in Okinawa, Japan as either a military spouse or SOFA associate. And today we're going to talk about my experience and the process of going through getting your home base approval if you live in Okinawa, Japan. So let's get right into it. Number one, make sure your business is legally registered in your state of residency. So as military spouses, we are eligible for something called the MSRAA. It's also known as a Military Spouse Residency Relief Act. I will also link that down below with a link on what all that consists of so that way you can read it for yourself. But basically, you can run your business at your state of residency while your spouse and you are stationed at a different country or state. For example, for me, my husband and I are both legal residents of Texas, so I would register my business in Texas and I will do my taxes in Texas as well as my federal taxes. Now on to number two. Once you've taken care of your legal aspect for taxes and whatnot, you will need something called a home-based approval. This will be for both if you live on a base or if you live off a base, okay? As long as you are a military spouse or SOFA associated in some way, you will need this. It doesn't matter if you live on or off base. Now, I just want to preface that keep in mind this is my experience, and when it comes with the military, things are constantly changing and everybody's experiences will be very different as well. So just take the information as you will, and of course, just because my experience was my experience doesn't mean it's going to be yours, but this was mine. So, in order to get your home base approval paperwork, you need to go and contact your legal office on base. Now, I do want to preface, depending on what branch you are, the requirements are gonna differ. So, I know for sure if you're Air Force and if you're Army, you go through the Kadena legal office on base and they will guide you, they'll give you a paper, and you basically will need your spouse's commander to sign off on this, your spouse, the housing office, and legal. All of those signatures need to be done before this can be fully approved. Once all those signatures are done, you're done, and that's all you really need to do if you're Army and Air Force, okay? I'm not too sure on Navy. Again, I would contact your legal office, and I know if you're Marines, you will go through the process with MCCS, and I believe they do about the same thing, but I think they have to go through a little bit more paperwork, and I'm not 100% sure. I will be linking some Facebook groups down in the description below that you can join that can help you a little bit more with those experiences. There's a lot of Marine spouses that have gone through this process, so they can definitely help you. This whole paperwork process can take anywhere from 3 to 6 months. In my experience, it took me about 6 months to get my paperwork done. So please give yourself some grace and some time to be able to get that paperwork done before you sign up for an event. If you're Air Force and Army, I know for a fact you need to renew this paperwork yearly. So the whole process you did the first time, you will need to start it again all over before that expires. Usually what I recommend is start around the 6-month mark, is go ahead and start that paperwork all over again. So that way by the time that paperwork expires, and it does take 6 months, you're good to go. Especially if you're going to be signing up for events later down the year. And if that expires, unfortunately, you won't be able to do that event. We've had some of these issues arise, so I just say be on top of it and better be safe than sorry. So for MCCS, if you're Marine, I believe those should be fine. You don't have to do those yearly. I think those ones are fine for your DROS date, so the day that you would leave island is when that expires. Again, I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me on it, but I believe that's what I have heard. But number 3, you've got your approval, and what do you do next, right? So you have your approval, you're able to run your business already. But unfortunately, as I will go through this here in a little bit, as a small business, unfortunately we have some hoops, some things that we cannot do, and that includes shipping unless you use the Japan post office. We can't use our military post office. I will go into that here in a little bit in the video. So one of the biggest things I tell people if they're coming in for a small business is you must do events. Do events on base. So Kadena FSS, and I'll also have the list down below so that way you can read over it. But there's several places where you can sign up as a vendor to be on their vendor list, and they will have events throughout the year where you sign up. And usually it's anywhere from a $25 to a $75. I've even seen some be like $150 for the holiday ones because they get very popular. They are pretty pricey, but they provide you one table, usually 2 chairs, and a tent. You're not allowed to bring your own tent. You're allowed to bring your own tables and your own chairs and your own setups, but they do provide that for you already. So everything else you bring is totally up to you, but you cannot bring your own tents. They provide those tents for you, which is nice. You can sign up as a vendor is at the Kadena Shilling Center, and you can also sign up at the Arts and Crafts Center, which is inside of the Shilling Center, but it's a separate entity, so make sure you sign up for both while you're there. You can contact the Kadena Youth Center. I'm not sure if they will host any events anytime soon, but when I was there, they did host a few small events, which were pretty nice to do. And it's always nice to just kind of get your name out there to the military community. I will say the military community is wonderful there. People love supporting small businesses. So definitely do these markets. It's amazing, and I personally love them. I love talking to people, so that is just to me. Also contact MCCS. MCCS will sometimes hold events as well. The Crow's Nest on Camp Shields, that's another good one to reach out to. And also recommend on Facebook is following all the PTO school pages and their school pages. Sometimes they will have smaller events that are on the cheaper side, so like $25, $35, which those funds usually go to the school, so I love doing. One is to also contact the Kadena Base Exchange or the Base Exchange itself. They recently had started letting small businesses be able to rent out a booth inside. I don't believe I know anybody that has done it, and I personally haven't done it. So if you're one of those people that wants to look into it, definitely look into it does cost a bit, and they do take a percentage of your sales. Not exactly sure how much. I think it just depends on where in the mall you are at. Also 3 gift shops on the island. So they are a non-profit, almost like a boutique, furniture boutique style stores, and you have 3 of them. You have one on Camp Shields, one on Kadena, and one at Foster, which is Marine Base. Really cool opportunity for small businesses there. They actually have a section for small businesses. They have something called a shelf, and if you have a shelf, you are able to take your product there and showcase it and make sales that way. It's also a really good source of income to get your name out there, and also just be able to have your products displayed somewhere physically for people to actually go and touch and see. And they do host small events as well, so you can also sign up for those. Those were all of the tips for getting your base approval and the resources, but there is some things you need to know and be aware of as a small business. Some things that you need to be aware of when it comes to the military and being a small business. do not use the military post office, as this is not allowed. This includes receiving products, mailing products to customers, and if you're caught, you can get in serious trouble, and your spouse or sponsor can also get in very serious trouble, and you can lose complete privileges to use the military post office. May have you wondering, so then how in the world am I going to run my business, and how do I sell? So like I had talked about before, events. You can also still ship, but if you're one of the brave ones, definitely figure out how to use the Japan post office. Now, because it is overseas shipping, it might take a little bit of time, but it is a good alternative from the on-base post office, which is USPS. But unfortunately, like I said, we are not allowed to use that. We're not allowed to use that for any profit, so we can't receive goods and we can't send packages through the military post office. It is not allowed. Another thing that you should know is that you are not to resell anything that you buy from the commissary or the base exchange. Again, that's just not allowed. Last thing is that you're not able to sell outside of your home, like in a yard sale style. Handing flyers is not allowed, so you can't hand out flyers unless you are handing something out at a paid booth for an event, and no soliciting your neighbors. Again, if you're caught, you can get in serious trouble and possibly get your business shut down. So just don't do them. Again, how do you sell your items is markets, and markets. Do markets. Those are your money makers. Those were my favorite to do, and those were my money makers. And most small businesses will probably tell you that's where they make their money. Another big thing is join all the Facebook groups you can as possible, as many as you can find, and promote your businesses on the ones that you can. Facebook will be your best friend in Okinawa. It is such a small community. Everybody is on Facebook. It's insane. So promote your business on those pages and use Facebook to your advantage here. This is everything for you guys today. I really hope this video has been helpful for those who are looking to run their small business in Okinawa, Japan, like I did for the last 3 years. I will link everything that I've talked about in the description below, and a few other resources that you guys can look at that can really help you guys. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions. I will do my best to answer them as best as I can, and let me know what other videos you would love to see here. I'm actually absolutely excited for this new YouTube channel and to showcase my journey and all my small business tips that I have and things that I have learned, and for you guys to continue watching me grow as a small business owner and a military spouse. And I will see you next week with a vlog style video. Bye.